And criticism is a good thing. That address and those awards have given me the freedom to go anywhere in the world, and they know me. Nobody can beat Michael Jackson. Tujhe, Salaam or Jai Ho are blessed songs for me.
Hi, this is Mark Manuel for PeepingMoon, and I am getting into conversation with Rahman on the eve of his Wonderment Tour in Mumbai. Mr. Rahman, welcome to PeepingMoon, and thank you for kickstarting this tour in Mumbai.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing a stage show, you're coming back to a stadium audience after 8 years, right? And with something so spectacular, so many artists there, live music, theatrical elements, dance. 32 years of experience is 32 years of experience, but are you kind of nervous to be getting back?
The nervousness happens during the preparations because I'm also scoring movies, and after finishing that, come in the night and do this tracks and send it to Shamar. He's so passionate. Every 10 minutes he texts me, "Have you have the track? I'm very nervous." So it's nice to have nervous people around before the show,
Okay.
so that in the show we can enjoy the show really.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've described this concert as being a celebration of the blessings you've received in 32 years. What has been your biggest blessing in all this time?
My blessing is, being blessed with the love of, fans. Those who encouraged me, who criticized me, everybody actually. Those directors or actors or lyric writers or directors, who all producers, who gave an opportunity and they paid me so that I can learn. And that's the process I keep saying, everyone. They pay you to learn. So don't shell out what you have, but give them something new, learn something new and give something new.
Was there a lot of criticism in the initial years?
Always.
Always?
And criticism is a good thing. Like if you take it, for initially the criticism was, I did Roja, then I did a movie called Pudhiya Mugam. And I thought the quality was better than Roja. But surprisingly they looked at, it sounds the same. The sound, the instruments are the same, the vibe is same, but the tunes are different.
Okay.
But what they look at, like what I learned from the experiences are, the way people look at is like a product.
Okay.
We see the art in it, but they consume the emotion in it. The emotion gets covered with soundscape or lyric or. So then I realized I think we should choose the ground differently.
Okay.
So then I did a folk film, I did a commercial film, then I did an art film, then I did a alternate independent cinema called Fire with Deepa Mehta. So I think I forced myself to think differently with different arenas,
You compose in various Indian languages and also Arabic. Which is the easiest?
Mother tongue, of course. But then I find there is a beauty in everything. There's a beauty in Urdu, Hindi. There's a beauty in Malayalam. There's a beauty in Persian, which I did. There's a beauty in English because sometimes I think in English because it's easier.
Okay.
And so while writing lyrics, sometimes the concept comes in English. It's much more easier.
You're very excited about this tour, and you feel that, better times, like they say. I'm not talking about the Ache Din that the country is looking forward to, but better times are here for fans of music and for musicians itself. You also think that the audience is now more interactive. They're like an instrument.
They are. Actually, if you look at 90s, it was a nightmare to score because the scope of the soundscape was great. You had sample 48 kilohertz sampling rate, and we had that time DAT, and then your CDs. But the movie theaters were mono. They were not ready.
They were not ready for that.
And all the stuff you do, only probably 20% would come on the screen.
Okay.
So I said, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to deal with this. It's frustrating to put 100% to get 20% out. Yeah. Then things changed. In 3 years, Dolby came in, DTS came in, Dolby, Atmos came in. That changed. Same way, I think, when the need arrives, I think even the infrastructure would come in. There's no infrastructure now, zero. Or musical theater, or, like people can, without having parking, traffic conditions and safety and all those stuff. I think it should come in because the need arrives and people are ready to buy tickets. So it's important for people to build these things.
Okay.
Like we have NMSCC now.
Yeah.
We need it in every city now.
Okay.
You know, and so that musical theater stuff can travel, and then people can have. Why are they buying a ticket and going to Germany and watching Hans Zimmer or Coldplay and everything? Because they have the money.
Yeah.
And they demand, quality. So it's important.
You find that happening, that change happening in India now?
Change happens when the necessity arrives, the need arrives.
You find the audiences more interactive with
Or-
concerts.
yeah.
You said they're like an instrument. So
Yeah,
how
they are
how
the
would you
instrument.
play them?
Like if you look at even songs, even abroad, if you take Jacob Collier, he's using the audience as a choir. And we did this like probably 20 years back. Hariharan was, in one of the concerts, he said, I want you guys to sing Saregama. And he made the other audience to sing Padanesa. And then we would try to tease them.
Okay.
So they sing Saregama, we'll just rate them, which one was Saregama or Padanesa.
Okay.
And so we tried Indian way of that long before, and it was fun. And now it's gone to a thing where they literally know all the lyrics
They know it.
better than me. they know the lyrics, they sing along, and sometimes they sing something, I sing a harmony on top of it. For songs like Mustafa and everything.
Now you're taking this tour across North America, where they have chart-busting entertainers of various genres of music. Are many of them your friends? Will you be inviting them for your concerts?
I hope to, yes. The good thing about being a music composer in India is like they expect you to do everything, because it's movie scoring. You're not sticking to one genre. When you listen to a song, I know how he's doing it. Then boom, something else comes in. Then boom, something else comes in. Depending on the movie, and it's a collective effort of the director, lyric writer, choreographer, and everybody. So it's so unpredictable, and it's rich in variations.
Okay.
Not because that I entered it; it happened to be like that. And I feel like that is an aspect which is unique about our concerts because it has this wide variety of spectrum of palette of sounds and melodies and everything.
Okay. You said the uniqueness also lies in the fact that you're going to be bringing a certain element of Indian classical music into these concerts that maybe the American performers do not have.
True.
So,
and I've been doing that for the past 5 to 6 years. We had a section called the Raga Medley, and I don't want to talk much. It went very well, except for one place.
okay.
I think it was Tampa.
Okay.
So there's one person who shouted out, "We don't want that ragas."
Oh, he said that.
He said, but also I think we went prolonged something. So I learned that we need to keep it short. We need to keep it interesting, and you can't take anything for granted.
Okay.
They're coming for a entertaining show. Not that Indian music is not entertaining. So you have to present it in a way where everybody enjoys it.
Okay. The first concert you did live was Malaysia in 1996. 29 years later, you're coming back on the stage. How different are you as a music impresario today?
At that time, for me, going on stage was like death. Felt like it was so scary because I'm literally working. I worked all my songs in this little room, and I had satisfaction. I could do anything. Could probably have a soundscape of the world from whatever I've learned, and coming to real audiences. But then you see overwhelming love. When people turn up for your concert, it's half success because literally they took the effort of dressing up, buying the ticket, getting into the car, keeping a time for it. So I respect that a lot. So I always pray for them.
You just said that you could do anything. Now I understand you play a whole range of musical instruments. Which are you most fluent in?
Nothing.
How did you learn this?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. I think it's just my thought process. I think after a while your expectations of your brain is more than your physical activity. Physically, what you can do.
Okay.
Unless you start practicing, unless you become. You see masters of interviews of guitarists who are 95 saying that I'm practicing only 4 hours a day. I wish I had 8 hours. So I'm like, then it puts you to shame. Every artist to shame. Like he's 95 and he's practiced and feels like he's not good enough.
Okay.
So I mean that inspires. That's inspiration for all of us. Say that we don't get old.
Okay.
Physically we might get old. Mentally we don't get old.
You're alert still.
And we need to be at cutting edge in our art.
Without getting into any controversy, there are people who have said you're not a singer, but yet you sound great.
Okay.
Now, you're not a singer, but you're among the highest paid singers in India. How do you
It's
explain
a
that?
dichotomy, right?
How do you explain
I
that?
think, what is the definition of a singer?
Somebody who sings,
Somebody who moves you. Right?
somebody who moves you. Okay.
Yeah. So definitions change. If you're a singer in a choir, you have to sing in tune. You need all the words. If you're in musical theatre, your consonants and everything has to be clear, and you need to be spontaneous. You should be in tune, in tempo. And for me, I think singing came as a blessing.
Okay.
It came as an accident where I just did something, and Mr. Maniratnam said, "Whose voice is that?" "It's mine. I want that." No, I'm not a singer. No, I want that voice. He had the authority to say yes. And then afterwards, I think I didn't take it seriously, because every time I wanted to practice, I was so exhausted, because you're working in the studio, you're producing, you're composing, so many things happen, and there's no time.
Mm.
And little bit time you give for family, and then you just go and you have to go sleep. So now I found a pattern to practice a little more.
Okay.
So I have a tambura in one of the rooms, which is like constantly on, and find spaces. Not that, I need to go and practice, like gym.
Okay.
Oh, I
It's
need to
not
go to
that.
the gym.
Okay.
So you do your work, and that's also part of the gym, right? And I think it's everybody's right to criticize anybody.
So are you saying you're the kind of person who also sings in the shower?
Not in the shower.
Not in the shower.
It's too noisy. In the car sometimes.
Okay,
And then
okay.
when it's a never-ending process. Nobody can ever say they're the best singer, because anybody can falter if they don't practice.
I understand.
And
What have the songs Jai Ho and Tujhe, Salaam meant to you so many years later?
I think we do every song to be a masterful hit, but some of them are blessed, get blessed. I think same way Tujhe, Salaam or Jai Ho are blessed songs for me, definitely.
And
And Kun Faya Kun.
apart from the Grammys and the Oscars and the BAFTA and the Golden Globe and all the other accolades that the movie got, what did Slumdog Millionaire do for you and for Indian music?
I mean, it gave an address saying that, because before that, the one musician people knew was Mr. Ravi Shankar, the Beatles and everything. And there was Zubin Mehta in the classical, and there was Zakir Hussain. But this one actually put it in the world map.
Hmm.
Indian music sounds like this kind of thing. So in a way, that address and those awards have given me the freedom to go anywhere in the world, and they know me. I can go to Japan, I can go to Iran, I can go to Italy, and because they value that award so much.
So will you still be carrying part of Slumdog Millionaire into the Wonderment Tour?
Yeah, of course.
You will be.
Of course.
People expect that of you.
People expect it, yeah.
Do you remember which was the first live concert you attended? Who was the entertainer?
My first live concert was, I think, OCB, sir. It was a South African band.
Yes.
Because my father had a record of OCB, sir. That one. And then I think it was very less ones I've gone. OCB was one of the first, because they came to Chennai.
Yeah.
It was rainy and marshy. I remember my legs were like half in the puddle. And
they had one album, but the songs were utterly ridiculous.
New one?
No, that time. I mean, they were singing in their language, of course.
Yeah, I love the
There
song.
was that song Kilele, Kilele.
Yeah,
Remember that?
I love the sound. I love the sound of the album. Then I went into, actually the record collection of my dad was eclectic.
Yeah.
It had Bach, played on a Moog synthesizer. It had OCB, sir. It had Latin music. It had the Beatles, which was why I never even listened to it. I saw the Apple records.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite entertainer on stage, live?
On live, nobody can beat Michael Jackson. I mean, what he did to the pop, being an all-rounder, and I had the luck of meeting him twice, which is great.
Mr. Rahman, thank you so much for this.
All right.
Good luck with the tour. Looking forward to that.